friends, it is Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day. So as such, I thought I would make a confession. I desperately want to become a mother. I think it's something I wanted since I was a little kid. I wanted to be a mommy. But now that I am older and really like in a really happy place in my life, I mean, I have my house, I'm enjoying my job, I'm financially stable, I am not foreseeing any huge major changes in my life situation. So I feel like I'm ready to make that dream a reality. Now, as you know, I am a single person, and I also don't really see that changing in the near future. I mean, I might date someone. Anyway, I don't see myself finding a male partner to father my child anytime soon. So I am pretty committed to becoming a single parent, which I think is fine. I mean, it's a whole other topic, my thoughts on what actually makes up a family. It's not just a boy and a girl. Anyway, but that's another day's topic. So a little over a year ago, I started seriously taking steps to look into how I could become a parent. And I started by looking into being a foster parent, because I think that that is so important. There are so many children in the world that are in the foster program that really need some help, and it really interested me. So I found an agency here in town, and I started working with them. I went to all of the foster parent trainings, and I filled out all the paperwork. And through the trainings, I was really I was heartbroken by some of the stories and the situations, and I didn't realize that going through the program to learn about becoming a foster parent would be so challenging for me, because we kept talking about finding the forever families for the children, and all I kept thinking was, well, I want to find my forever family. And as the process went on, I kept thinking there's no way that I could have a child in my home and give them back, especially because the return home rate is not that great, but at the same time, sometimes there's a lot of bouncing in and out of the system, and I think that would be heartbreaking to me. And they also say they're like, you have to be 100% committed to reunification with the birth parents, and if you're not, the child's gonna know it's not gonna help them. So it wouldn't be fair to me, it wouldn't be fair to the child to bring to the home with me, for me not to really be 100% on board with them returning home to their birth parents. So after going through the process, and I learned so much through it, and I'm really glad that I did that, I decided that being a foster parent isn't the right choice for me, at least not right now. I'm not ruling it out for in the future, but for right now, I don't think it's not for me right now. So my next options was to birth a child. And I think after getting a divorce, I kind of just swore off that idea. I put it out of my mind as something that I just wasn't gonna do. I don't know why I did that. I sort of just said, oh, well, I'm just not going to do that. And I'm fine with that. For several different reasons. I mean, one, I don't have a male partner, and I just thought, well, how's that gonna work? And also I was, with my different medications that I'm taking, I knew that I would have to be off of them, and there's a slight chance that I could pass something on to the child. So I was a bit hesitant about it, and so I had kind of written it off in my mind even before giving it a try. And I also knew that it would be an uphill battle, even if I was, even if I had a male partner and whatnot, because I don't menstruate regularly, so I knew something would be wrong there. I knew that, in order to make a baby, there are certain things that your body needs to do every month, and mine just don't do it, so I knew that would be a struggle. But I was talking with my mom, and she said, why don't you just think about it? You never really gave yourself a shot. You never tried. You never found out from a doctor what the possibilities are. And if you're worried about the boy parts, you can buy that on the internet. And so that's what I decided to do. I decided that it wasn't a spur of the moment decision, none of it has been, that I would use a donor, an anonymous donor, and I would try to do artificial insemination. So I got immediately, just because I was doing that, I got referred to the fertility doctors. And it wasn't long before they discovered that it wasn't going to be so simple, that I had some serious infertility issues with my body. So I have, which is why I don't menstruate, and why the road has been really hard. So I went and they did a scan of my ovaries, and I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, which means that my ovaries are kind of overrun with these cysts. They also did a test to see your ovarian reserve, so how many eggs you have, and mine was the highest that my doctor had ever seen. And so she kind of speculates that I have never really ovulated, that my so that's not good. So it was a struggle to sort of get that to happen. And so my goal was sort of that I wanted to do an IUI, which is an intrauterine insemination, where they take the boy part and they put it right into your uterus. So that was my goal. So as I was going to the doctor and trying to sort of get things started in my body, each time I would go and get a different scan, they would find large cysts on my ovaries. And so back in September, I had surgery to have one of the cysts removed. And that was extremely painful, the surgery was. And they were surprised that I didn't feel any pain from the cyst itself, but considering so many of the other surgeries I've had, I really didn't. So that was in September. And then I would try different cycles. I would try just pills to try to get things going, and I would go in and it would be more cysts, and so we would have to stop. One time they let me skip one of the initial scans, and I was able to do the fertility shots. But then when I went in, I had a really huge cyst. They said it was 8 centimeters big, and so we couldn't move forward. So we kind of had to take a pause and suppress my ovaries. And then when I came back, I still had more cysts, and so it was kind of a heartbreaking process. I felt like I was just never gonna get there, you know? And I'd already made my big important purchase online, so I kept thinking, well, what am I gonna do with this now? And so I remember in April, just this past cycle, I went in and I went for my 3-day scan, and the nurse said, Bethany, you know, you have another cyst, even though I had done 3 months off of like total suppression, and they had given me really strong medication to kind of shut my ovaries down in hopes that when they started back up again, they would like come back with a vengeance. I guess that's the way they do it. And I still had a cyst, even though I had been taking some heavy duty medications that should have not allowed that. And so they put me into this room. So there's the ultrasound room, and then across from it, there's a room where obviously they're not going to do any medical procedure on you because it's just a couch and a table and then Kleenex. So I always just call it the crying room, because every time I have a scan, that's where I go to, and they tell me the news that I have grown a cyst or I need surgery or whatnot. So I was in there, and I remember thinking, you know, I just want them to tell me to stop. You know, like, I don't want to feel like I'm quitting on this process, but if they would just tell me to stop, because the ultrasound lady had said, Bethany, you have another cyst, just be prepared for that when the doctor comes in. And I really was thinking, okay, we're done. But strangely enough, we weren't. I mean, the doctor, she said, yes, you have one, but you're probably always going to have them, and as long as they're not so large and they're not causing you a huge amount of pain, we don't need to do surgery. She said we would be doing surgery all the time. So I was allowed to kind of move forward. They did some more blood work, and things were okay. So we moved forward and I did a full cycle of that actually did lead up to doing an IUI last month. It was not successful, so that was heartbreaking. I recorded that whole series of events of going and finding that out. So if you're really curious to watch the roller coaster that is Infertility, I can link that video so you can watch it. And people might be thinking, Bethany, why the heck are you telling us all this? Because I can't be the only person who goes through infertility or the only single person who wants to become a parent and finds it to be really hard. So maybe there'll be people that can shed their advice or whatnot. And I also don't think that it's not a weird thing to me, what I'm trying to do. It's not weird. It's not a really big secret. I mean, I kept it a secret just because I was hoping to, you know, make some big announcement that I was pregnant, or that I had found this child to adopt. But it's not, I mean, my family and close friends all know what I'm doing. So, that's not a secret. But yeah, and I mean, looking back, this has been part of the journey. And so when I find my child, that's what I always tell people, that I'm just looking for my baby. I don't know where or how we're going to meet, but we are. I don't know if I'm going to birth the baby or if they're already been born or they're going to be born here or somewhere else, or, but I want them to know that I have tried so hard. Like I've been getting ready to meet them. Like I had to get myself ready. And I'm just looking for them. And I really truly believe that I will find my child. Like that perfect, we will find each other. And it'll be at the perfect time, and it'll be the perfect baby or grown little person, or, so I just wanted to remember this journey that I went on to sort of find them, so that maybe, you know, when the kid's grown up, they can laugh at how hysterical, you know, mom is all the time. But yeah, so that's my big confession. It's Mother's Day, and I'm not a mom right now, but I'm pretty confident that I will be sometime soon, or rather than later, I hope. But yeah, so it's my big thing. I'm looking for my baby. We just need to find each other.